Hi guys, just checking in to say good day. Well, it's 2 weeks. 2 weeks until my surgery date, or nearly 2 weeks. 2 weeks on Tuesday. That's when I start my up to fast diet. I heard back from the super fund on Thursday afternoon, and I should have some money in my bank there to pay for the surgery and the anaesthetist and hospital in the next week or so. So it's all getting very real. I'm getting very excited and nervous. So it's happening very, very fast, and I'm not sure whether I'm looking forward to the OptiFast diet or not, but I'm getting ready for it anyway. I've been practicing fluids, still drinking lots and lots of green smoothies, which are awesome, but I won't be able to drink those after on my 2 weeks diet. I'll probably have those when I get into the liquid diet on the other side. Anyway, just wanted to talk a bit about a few things I've heard or getting around, and that's people exercising, which is excellent, awesome, really good. I love exercising, and everyone knows we should be exercising as much as possible for many reasons. It does us lots and lots of good. But one of the things that I found is that I used to exercise and always be working on that pain threshold and getting through pain barriers and all the rest of it, and it used to work really well, especially with muscular pains and things like that. You just, as you got warmer, the pain would go away. But a couple of years ago I was at the gym, and I work on the elliptical trainer at the gym. I usually like to use those, and I go really quickly on them, and about 3/4 of an hour, 45 to 50 minutes, I work on those about 3 or 4 times a week. Or at that stage I was very fit. I was paddling surf skis 6 or 7 k's 3 times a week, and I was walking 10 k's once a week, 10 or so k's once a week. So I was really fit. I was still 45 kilos overweight, but I was a fit 45 kilos overweight. I had been having a few chest aches and pains, and had been sent off to have some ultrasounds of the heart and some stress tests done, but they all came back and gave me the all clear. So I really thought that my heart was fine when I was exercising, so I used to really go for it. But I found that when I was exercising, I'd get a really tight chest. My chest would get really tight when my heart rate got up really high, and it felt like my heart was going to burst from my chest, which turned out wasn't a good thing. One day in the gym, I was getting my heart rate up, around the high 190s, 200s, and I got a pain in the chest, and I thought it was just a muscular pain that you get. So I worked through it, and it didn't go away. Didn't go away. So I stopped. I had about 5 minutes. I walked around, stretched around the gym. It sort of went away a bit. I thought, that's okay, I can work it out when I get back on the machine. Got back on the machine, went for it again, came back again. It's a bit stronger. So did the circuit again, got off, walked around, stretched, thought, yeah, this is fine. Got back on the machine, and sure enough, it came back a third time, but it came back a lot stronger, and all of a sudden it was like the wind was taken out of my sails, and my legs were spaghetti, just spaghetti, and I had a pain that went up my neck and into my teeth. and I thought, well, this is kind of serious pain. I should probably go and get it checked out. So I grabbed my towel and got off the machine, cleaned it down, and walked out of the gym. And the hospital, luckily, is about a kilometre, 2 kilometres down the road. It's very, very, very close to the gym. But it was an awfully... I realised I was in trouble when I walked out of the gym doors, and I got about 25 metres and found that I was really struggling, and the pain was pretty intense. I started to sweat, tremble, and it was a real effort. I didn't think I was going to make it to the car, actually. I got myself to the car, and I drove to the hospital. So I got to the hospital. I was starting to pass out a bit. It was a really bad thing. I shouldn't have done that. I made a number of mistakes that day, out of probably male pride and just trying to be tough, I think, not be seen as a wimp. I got to the hospital and parked the car and staggered into the emergency room, and they found me a bed, and I laid down and promptly had a 10 out of 10 pain stakes wise heart attack. I just was in denial all the time, even while I was having the pain and the massive pain in the chest. It's just not a heart attack, it's just having a really bad pain reaction to something. The doctors didn't want to, they were in denial that it was actually a heart attack for a number of days as well, until they gave the bloods came back, because it happened on a Friday night. Never get sick on a Friday night because everybody is leaving for the weekend, so everything stops over the weekend, and I couldn't get any bloods or anything really back for longer than it should have taken. So anyway, one of the doctors thought it was pericarditis, which is a swelling of the heart in the chest, and that's what was causing the pain. Another doctor said it was a heart attack, so it took them a number of days to work out that they had to give me an angiogram, and they found that I had a blocked artery and it needed a stent. So I was lucky, because I was fit. The oxygen storage capability of the muscle, of my heart muscle, was quite high, so the scarring that occurred in the muscle was quite minimal, which was lucky. Which was lucky. So I haven't had much trouble with it since the heart attack. But the biggest problems the biggest mistakes that I made in that day was, as I said, was out of pride and not wanting to be seen as a wimp. Is that one, I walked out of the gym without telling anybody that I was having pains in the chest. Any pains in the chest are serious. They should never ever be ignored, and I was ignoring them. If I had told them, they would have been able to give me an aspirin straight away, and aspirin thins your blood out and can help break up any clotting that's occurring in the heart. So I didn't do that. They would have been able to contact home to let them know that I was on the way to hospital. They could have rung the ambulance and got me there, but I drove to hospital because I thought I was tough and that it wasn't going to happen to me. And I didn't get to ring up my family until about 10:30 that night. I'd actually forgotten my mobile phone when I went to the gym, so I couldn't ring them. I had no numbers. I didn't know my wife's phone number because she just got a new phone. Couldn't handle a phone until about 10:30 that night, so the hospital let me borrow theirs. and I rang the home phone, and that was constantly engaged for about half an hour. And yeah, then my family were really concerned. They didn't know where I was, and um, they were surprised and shocked to find that I was in hospital after having a heart attack. I was only 47 at the time, so, and like I said, I'd had lots of tests and been given the all clear, and was very fit. I was overweight, but I was very fit. So if you at the gym, like, we're all getting a bit older these days, and we've all carried a certain amount of excess weight as VSGs. If you at the gym or jogging or exercising and you get pain in the chest, don't try and break that pain barrier. Stop immediately and get assistance, because it can't. It's not even. It doesn't even have to be a pain in the chest. It can be a pain in your arms, in your legs. It can be a pain up into your jaw, depending on which artery is affected, and it can even just be a pain in your shoulder. Okay, the pain in your shoulder that won't go away. We see heart attacks on television all the time, and very rarely do heart attacks occur like the Hollywood version. They just happen, and my pain actually from my heart attack hung around for about 2 days afterwards, and in fact, I think because I didn't want to upset to call the nurses over, I think I actually had a second small one on the following night in the hospital. So yeah, when it comes to chest pain, make sure you tell someone, make sure you do something, because call an ambulance. It's better to get to the hospital and find out that it's not a heart attack than to actually have a heart attack and not be able to make it. I was surprised when I went to the hospital. I went to the cardiac rehabilitation course that you have to go to here. The number of people that were there that were actually younger than me. There was one gentleman there who was 35. He was a tall man, thin, and he worked outside, so he was strong and he was fit. But he was a smoker, and I was a smoker for a long time, not for 20 years or so, but I did smoke quite heavily when I was a teenager and into my 30s. He was a smoker. He used to eat rather than smoke, so I kept his weight down. I beg your pardon, he used to smoke rather than eat to keep his weight down, which it did, but it nearly killed him. If his wife hadn't have insisted on ringing the hospital, ringing the ambulance, he wasn't going to call the ambulance. He just went to bed and thought it was a pain in the chest, that was just indigestion or something like that. He would have died. So yeah, you blokes, don't play it tough, guys. Call a bloody ambulance, eh? Because it's better to get there and find it's a false alarm rather than to not make it at all. Yeah, sorry if I'm being a bit preachy. It's my experience. I did some really dumb, stupid things. I shouldn't have driven to the hospital. I could have passed out, caused an accident, and hurt somebody else. So that was another dumb thing that I did, because I thought, well, it's not a heart attack, and I'm tough anyway. So I didn't want to be seen as a wimp. And that can be a culture in a lot of gyms too. So it's my experience, and if my experience can help somebody out there to not do the same stupid things that I did, then I hope it helps you, and I'll be happy to know that I've helped somebody. Anyway, that's enough of that. I'm going back to watching your videos and reading up on my diets and all the stuff that I need to do for my sleeve. Getting very excited, anxious, nervous. It's a bit like Christmas with a chainsaw. I don't know, something like that. Something very anxious, but looking forward to it. Thanks for your videos, and I'll see you guys on the flip side.